Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're here in Austin, Texas for the Texas Truck Rodeo, but what we have is a new style trim from Hyundai. This is a 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe XRT. But before we get into this off-road tweaked Santa Fe, let's talk about what's going on here. Hyundai, that iconic brand that really has made some big waves, and it hasn't really been that long. They started selling cars here in the United States in the 1980s. This Santa Fe is a Y2K vehicle. Came out in the year 2000. Boy, oh boy, have things changed even since the year 2000, especially when it comes to SUVs and especially when it comes to an assortment of different trims. Now, this Santa Fe is trying to take a page from the playbook of Honda, from the playbook of Subaru, and bringing some off-road qualities to the Santa Fe model. But what I want to find out is this a better way to go than a Passport, than an Outback, and is it a pretender or the real deal thing for some of that off-road capability? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our 2022 Santa Fe XRT and find out. Right off the bat, you're gonna get that refresh style at the front of the business. First of all, I love this metallic blue. Absolutely sparkles in the bright Texas sun. Like we brought to you before, on your standard Santa Fe, you're gonna get that split level headlight design. So we got LED daytime running lamps that drip into the lower headlight housing. We do have LED headlights, but we don't have LED turn signals. So I am gonna zonk that. It would be nice to have some LED turn signals. What I do like though, functional side air curtains. And when you go XRT trim, you're getting this gloss black finish, just a little bit kind of spilling in to the front fascia. Of course, we have some nice flat black. That's gonna take a better beating, especially when you're going over different trails and rocks are flying up and hitting it, so it's not gonna get all scratched up, and I'll wipe that off right there. As we kind of come across the front grille. Now, when you go XRT trim, you are getting that flat black grille, that bright, shiny chrome Hyundai badge in the center. And then as we drop down, you'll see that gloss black that slides underneath. And then all the way on the lower end, you are gonna get flat black functional venting, that simulated skid plate design up front. But here's the great news. Underneath this vehicle is a skid plate. So they do give some underbody protection to make this a little bit more off-road worthy. It's got over 8 inches of ground clearance to help go over those trails. And this is not meant to be a vehicle to do rock crawling in, but if you want to go to some of those places that are a little bit harder to get to put your kayak in the water, this might be the one to get you there. Now, comparing this to the front of the Passport, Passport has a little bit cleaner design, and then the Outback has that more traditional, unique Subaru styling that kind of separates it from the rest of the pack. And remember, technically, the Outback is a lifted wagon, not an SUV. But as we get up onto that hood, you do get that same rise in the other Santa Fe's is on this XRT. Nice rise, everything goes towards the A-pillars, but I'm telling you, that metallic flake, there's more metallic flake in that paint job than in a bowling ball at your favorite bowling alley. Now, as we come around the bend, are we getting unique wheels and tires? Yes, we are. So what we're getting is this satin black style wheel. It does have that off-road style to it, and this is something that is gonna be specifically unique on the XRT. It's an 18-inch wheel, 235 on the width, meaty 60 series sidewall. Now they're going with these Kumo tires, a little bit more off-road worthy, but still they could have been just a little bit more rugged of a tire. But you do have fully ventilated rotors, flat black around the fender wells, give it that, like I said, that better wear as you are going off-road. And they did tune the suspension for a little bit more off-road duty. Now, as we come down the side, you're gonna get these metallic black side mirror caps with your traditional turn signals. I wish they would have went dark chrome finish on all the bright, shiny metalwork, but the great news is you do have very low gloss black roof rails. We have those optional Hyundai crossbars, so you could put that cargo basket up there and your kayak holder, your mountain bike holder, and get to just about anywhere that you need to go. Some brushed aluminum finish on the tops of the door handles, which makes it very unique. That's part of the XRT trim. And then the biggest difference is as we drop all the way down, and normally we don't do this on the side of a vehicle here on Raiti's Rides, but you can see the extra cladding that's here to take a better beating, and also those fixed running boards. Now you may look at those and say, wow, they don't really stick out very far, but the good news is when you open up the door, and I'm gonna have Lori kind of showcase just how far they come out there with that aluminum finish. I'll close the door. And I like the fact that they're not just sticking all the way out and just really disrupting the style of the vehicle. Now, as we come towards the rear, everything is gonna be the same. This XRT is a 2-row. So when you're comparing it to the Passport, when you're comparing it to the Outback, it makes sense because those are also 2 rows. And then when we get to the tail end of the business, you do get a nice long roof spoiler. They do put the wiper on the rear glass. Let me know how you feel about that. Should they be tucking it underneath? You got that traditional Santa Fe badge, been around since the year 2000. LED taillights. Love the way you have that coming all the way across. We got the H-Track system. That's gonna be that all-wheel drive system on the XRT. The one thing that is interesting is where they have those turn signal flashers down here. And then this lower rear bumper area is unique to the XRT. They have this design. I'm glad it doesn't look like a fake vent, so we don't have to zonk it. I like the dark gunmetal gray finish, and you are getting a functional exhaust outlet on the passenger side, which I'm okay with this particular trim. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Subaru XRT. All right, guys, time to look underneath the hood. What do we have? First of all, you're gonna get hydraulic hood struts underneath the hood, tasteful on the engine cover, and what you're gonna specifically get on this Hyundai Santa Fe XRT is gonna be that naturally aspirated 2.5 liter inline 4. It's 191 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. So thankfully, no CVT. 0 to 60 in around 8.8 seconds. MPGs 22 in the city, 25 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 3,960 pounds, and you could tow up to 2,000 pounds with this Hyundai XRT trim of the Santa Fe. Now, when you're comparing that to the Outback, if you're going with the turbocharged Outback, this is gonna be down on horsepower. And if we're comparing it to the Passport has a naturally aspirated V6, which also has more horsepower. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what big things are in store for this Hyundai Santa Fe XRT. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe XRT, the first ever off-road trim for a Santa Fe. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, this actually has sparked my curiosity. But I know that old adage, curiosity kills the cat, so I want to find out, before I get too excited, what's the price? Because I am looking at the Outback and I'm definitely looking at the Passport. So the way that this one is optioned for your XRT Santa Fe, you're looking at $35,300. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now I like the clean style, soft touch material, even the way they do that dark gray finish. It's not gloss black, it's something different, something fresh. And then the armrest has some soft material. It's flat black, which is great. And then I love the design of the speaker grill cover. It really makes the door panel come alive. The pocket, though, is a little tight. So maybe a hot dog from Costco and a bottle of water to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you do get that split level setup. I do think it's smart the way they bring the trim, that gray trim, from the door panel to the top of the dash. Kind of gives it a unique look. You have the stitch work, which is nice, and then you could put a baker's dozen worth of Twinkies. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 13. And then you get to the infotainment side of things. Now this has the 8-inch infotainment system. The good news though, even though it's a smaller screen, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. No navigation, it is a touch screen. You could show things like your climate settings. You can't adjust anything though, which is kind of bizarre. something just to know about before you hop in. But it is a very intuitive system. You have the quiet mode, valet mode, and then let me show you the backup camera. Put it in reverse, it does take up all 8 inches, and it does have trajectory, which is nice. I'm surprised there's no 360-degree camera on this particular vehicle, or you know, having some type of other off-road camera system, I think would have been nice. No forward-facing camera. But you do have a bright silver start-stop button. There's more of that gray finish, which is nice. And look, no fingerprints, Mom. Now you don't have to clean them. And then you do have dual climate control, nice toggle switches. This is going to control that 8-speed automatic transmission. You got your mode selector knob here, sport, comfort, snow, smart, and you can lock the center diff. We do have heated seats, but no ventilated seats at this price point. They do give you a cup holder and a USB, wireless charging for your phone, a second cup holder, but look at this. You have enough room down below, not only for a 12 volt to be placed, but you could basically put a small baked chicken there. You have your lunch, a whole chicken for the family. You could just slide it right in there, Texas style. I do like the soft touch on the armrest. Open the door, what do we got? You got your key fob. There is your traditional Hyundai key fob with your remote start, the Hyundai badge on the back. You got a nice little tray here for some rocks that you collect on your off-roading. Maybe put your fishing lures in there. And then you have enough storage space for at least 2 softballs, which are great. Close that up. Seats, unique to this XRT, dark gray material, very grippy, and it feels like they're gonna wear well. Now you do have manual control for the passenger. I get electric assist over here. Another surprising thing, no sunroof at all. Has me scratching my head at $35,000. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Santa Fe. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this Santa Fe XRT. Down below, you can see that clear view of that stationary running board. You got the little Santa Fe name on the sill plate, and then you got your seat controls that are very easy to get to, including that lower lumbar, which is nice. I'm 6 feet tall. I've always liked the amount of room that's in a Santa Fe. Steering wheel, a little on the bland side, and a lot of it has to do with the horn button. I wish they would do something a little different with the horn button, but I do like the bright silver. You have paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down the 8-speed automatic, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. I think the best part that everybody loves is going to be that 12.3-inch digital display. Now on this trim, you don't have that camera view system when you're using your turn signals, but you do have the different modes. So we could go from comfort to sport to snow, and then smart as well. Graphics are really clear. Love the way it has all that adjustability. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna like this off-road version of the Santa Fe. All right, guys, backseat time, and here's another place where your passengers are gonna win. Lots of room back here. The cloth is really soft and comfortable. I don't mind the plastic, I think, in this off-road version, but what I do mind is that there's no pocket over there for that particular passenger behind the driver. But you do have 2 rear AC vents, a little bit of silver trim, matches what's up front, and you got 2 USBs. I have a pocket over here. I could easily put a hatchet, maybe some tools for when you're out in the woods and you need to hang a hammock. Maybe you got to start a fire and you don't want to use just, you know, 2 pieces of stick to rub together. You could keep those tools in there. Kind of nice. Plus, wait until you see the cargo area. But the seats, they don't slide, but they do recline. And they recline quite a bit, which I'm actually quite impressed. I got to do that again. One more time. Wow. And then if a big bear is coming your way and you don't want to be scared by it, just pull that up and say, you know what, Mr. Grizzly Bear, don't scare me. And I'm going to make it so it's official. There you go. Nice locked and loaded. Armrest. It's on the softer side, nothing to write home about, but you do have the 2 cup holders, which are nice. Flip it back. Why don't we go into the cargo area so I could show you all that space I was telling you about in the Santa Fe. All right, guys, time to get in that cargo area. Nice electric assist. Opens up really quickly, and the great news is with this XRT trim is that there's no 3rd row. So that really frees up the amount of space back there. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, how much space is there? 36.4 cubic feet of space with the seats up, 72.1 cubic feet of space when you fold the seats down. You do have a 12 volt, which is great. Also, there's your 12-volt and buttons to fold down that second row. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then you do have a little bit of a cubby here for that storage area. Just about anything you need. Put a small box of Twinkies, but here's the big plus. Storage out the wazoo. You could easily put your lasso, your cowboy boots, and then underneath here, you could separate everybody's boots, because nobody wants to share boots, especially if somebody has athlete's foot. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Santa Fe XRT for a spin. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Santa Fe XRT, that off-road style trim. I do have it in sport mode to kind of showcase as we're driving down this kind of country road here. All right, guys, been another great day out here in sunny Austin, Texas. I want to thank the whole Hyundai team for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this Santa Fe XRT. So what do you think? Has Hyundai done enough? Is this a pretender, or is this something that really can go and do a little bit of off-roading, yet have all those other great features that Hyundai brings with the Santa Fe? Or are you gonna go Outback, or possibly even Honda Passport? Put that in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click that link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's patient, she communicates awesome, and she's just a great all-around human being. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.